people are like fighting for camera time. So it's so layered and it's so like insane. And that's kind of why tensions grow so quickly over the littlest thing, because everyone is in there. If it's not Game of Thrones, then maybe it's Hunger Games, but it's something like that for sure. That's how I feel.
What
Yeah.
about, we saw in season one this dinner, it was you and Niall and like Jordan, and you guys got the Cartier watch, and you guys joked
Hmm.
after Ryan left to speed downtown for his new potential listing, and you said, it's great to be Ryan's favorites, but it was a joke and it was season one, but like, does Ryan have his favorites in the office?
He has his favorites, absolutely. And when we got those watches, everyone was like, "Well, maybe we just don't want to wear them because we don't want to make anyone else on the show jealous." When I tell you, I slept in my watch and wore my watch the very next morning to the office, and every single where I went, I was like, "What time is it?" I don't even know how to read a watch. What time is it? I think it's 11:02 on my new Cartier. Like I was the most obnoxious. They didn't wear their watches for weeks. I had my watch on the next morning. I never come into the office. Came into the office and was like, "Oh, I think I'm running late. What's going on? Did you guys get your watch? You didn't get a watch from Ron? No, 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 that didn't happen for you." I was loud about it. I didn't care. I was like, I'm telling everybody. Let them be upset.
There
I
is
was I was happy to share it. And I shared it way too early. They were so upset with me.
nothing wrong with a little Cartier, right?
Hell no, especially, I mean, how many times is your boss gonna buy you a Cartier watch? I'm gonna be loud about it. Thanks.
I would scream it from the rooftops.
Right.
What about, is there any, because, it is a real estate show. I love New York City real estate. I think it is the best city in the world. What is the state of the market now? Is it, a buyer's market, a seller's market? I mean, rates seem to be coming down a little bit. Let's talk real estate for a minute.
Honestly, the rates have dropped twice this last season, and it's really good. I feel like maybe by January, maybe I don't know. We might be getting another one, and we're expecting another one, I think, before the end of the year. It is such a good thing because for what we do, and specifically like in that luxury price point, the market's been great this year. People have made good money in the market. Hopefully a lot of our clients will see decent bonuses this year. Um, there's two different things going on in the world at the same time, but people that have money are making great money this year. And I think that that's helping. And then the rates are lowering. So I do think we're going to really walk into a strong real estate year in 2026. Our business personally has been very strong this year, but we also have the best marketing tool behind our business that one could possibly ever have with like, being on Netflix. So it's a little bit different. So I think the brokerage as a whole is in a very different situation than the market is. I think the market is slower, but I think Serhant is seeing such exponential growth. And even my team is seeing so exponential growth just because of the visibility that we've had and the opportunity to put our work in front of the world, not just New York. I mean, we've got clients that fly in from Brazil and are scheduling appointments to see properties.
What about, when you opened Polish Bar, it was on Myrtle Avenue, which, as you've joked, I think in an interview before, that some called it Murder Avenue. Like you said, even in the
Yes.
beginning of this chat, that you kind of went to certain areas, the business came in and you kind of were doing real estate. Like any up and coming areas in New York now? I mean, we saw the whole thing with like Hudson Yards back in the day and even like
Yeah.
Hudson Square and the High Line. Anything undercover that we should know about?
I mean, I think trend wise, nothing can be louder than the Upper East Side right now, like as far as what's trendy. So that will drive prices, obviously. I think as far as like pocket neighborhoods, there's a lot of buzz around Queens. I think primarily because Brooklyn has been developed to its very last inch. As far as anywhere you can catch a train, there's property, there are buildings. So I think that a lot of what I hear now is Queens. It's interesting. I don't know Queens that well, but it's a lot of chatter right now. I think that it's going to have, I think that a lot of businesses, a lot of small brands and businesses are opening up in Queens. And I think that we're going to see a lot more niche neighborhoods that we hear about in Queens. And we're going to hear about Queens a lot more in the next 5 years than we have in the last 20.
So a good time to start maybe doing real
For
estate in
sure.
Queens.
For
Do
sure.
you
I wish I had.
do you have a favorite area? Like, if money were no object, like if you just have a favorite area that you would just love to live in?
I do like, I mean, I love Brooklyn, and I my very first neighborhood will still be my last neighborhood, which is Fort Greene. But when we talk about the city, I actually love Flatiron a lot. I love Flatiron because I feel like I can get to it by foot. I can get anywhere I want to get to by foot in about 10 to 15 minutes. And then aesthetically, I just love the look of the buildings. I love all of the services that are available. And I love that there's a lot of parks, Union Square's right there. I am very drawn to that area romantically. I
And
love it.
look what they're doing to the Flatiron building. It's
I
now
know it's
condos,
gonna
and
be, yeah.
that's I saw pictures the other day and I'm like, okay, this is I can see it.
But I remember when I first moved here like 20 years ago, like walking up to the Flatiron building for the very first time, looking at the nose of the building, being like, can you imagine living there? Like that's gonna be someone's reality right now. And that's like to me very exciting. I love it.
Just when you think like there's any right, like I mean, at least for me, I'm always like, there's no more room for any
Nothing
buildings.
else.
Like it's, and then you're like, wow, or they build on top of something, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
100%. It's exciting. I love it. I love to see it, and but I can appreciate it. Like I go home to Arizona and I see the development there. Like, so I appreciate the growth and development of these neighborhoods. I do know it's controversial, but it's happening and it's happening everywhere. You can't fight it. You have to just learn to figure out how to appreciate it and figure out where you belong in all of that. Like I think a lot of people are frustrated with the growth of New York and the changes of New York because they've never made roots anywhere. Like I think it's important to understand that change will come to every neighborhood. But I think buying a home and owning a home is so important because that change happens around you when you own property. You're not being priced out. So for the people that are fortunate enough to buy a home, I think it's such a great thing to do in New York if you can, even if it's a little studio apartment, like just something to call your own. I think it's really great. Sometimes unachievable, yes, but a really great opportunity, a really, really great opportunity. And I've seen so many of my clients retire out of their homes, like literally live in a house for 20 years and they're set for the rest of their life. So it's a beautiful thing. And I don't know that a lot of real estate in the world would offer you that. People are retiring out of their homes in New York, and my clients walk away like with dollars, after they've lived in their homes, paid off. And now they're like, oh, we're just going to go live out in the Hamptons, or we're just going to go live out, we're going to go live down south. We're moving to Miami. Like, and it's a beautiful thing to watch people start that chapter of their life because they were able to buy a property in New York at some point.
I agree. I think the Hamptons and New York City, I always say I don't see how you can lose money ever. It's never, okay, yeah, it might be a bad week. It might be a bad month. It might even be a
Yeah.
bad year. You're not going to lose money. It's never going to crash. Everyone says this. It's not.
They've been waiting for it to crash forever. And I'm like, and all that time, meanwhile, in all that time, people have made immense equity. They've made great money. They've taken that money and done amazing things with it. Like, I love New York real estate. I just think it's one of the sexiest things going. I really do.
What's something you learned from Ryan in real estate? Like, is there something that sticks out?
Um, so he's inside of different properties all day long, every single day. And then one time I went to pitch with him. It was like my second day at the firm, and I had prepared all these notes, and I was like, "Well, this is what it is. Like, this is what you need to know. This client." And he's like, "Uh-uh." He's like, "No, just talk to me 5 minutes before." He's like, "We can talk about it 5 minutes before." So we walk around the neighborhood. I had just started the firm. Literally, it was 50 of us at the time. So we were talking, and we were waiting to start the meeting at like I think 8 o'clock that morning. And so I said, "Well, why didn't you want to know about the property until we walk in?" He's like, "No, I can only store that until like I walk in." So I started doing that, like not like really rehearsing or learning the buildings until I have to speak about them, whether it's in a meeting, whether it's on a conference call, or whether it's like to go do a pitch. And I found it so much easier. So you don't have to store everything in your brain. You just have to know it before you are getting ready to address it. So that's one trick